We all know about songs appearing in movies that later became big hits, like the theme from The Ghostbusters, or Man in Motion from St. Elmo's Fire, As Time Goes By from Casablanca, and Stella by Starlight from The Uninvited. Yeah, that was another one. But sometimes, in rare cases, it worked the other way around, with a hit song leading to a movie, like Harper Valley PTA, or Take This Job and Shove It. And the subject of this video, 1978's Convoy. Back in 1976, country singer C.W. McCall wrote a story song about truck-driving truckers trucking stuff around in their trucks, forming up in a giant convoy and flaunting the authority of the highway patrol. It was a big hit, and the song had crossover appeal, reaching #1 on both the country and the pop charts. The chorus features the phrase, "We're gonna take this truckin' convoy across the USA," and the word trucking sounds an awful lot like another word, which only served to heighten the song's rebellious counterculture appeal, since it was played right there on the radio. When EMI wanted to make a movie out of it, McCall wrote additional lyrics to fit the action in the script, and all they needed was a director. But they couldn't find one, so they gave the project to Sam Peckinpah. That's when the trouble began. See, the script was meant to be a comedy, like Smokey and the Bandit, but Peckinpah decided it was more about the rugged individualism of the kind found in the Western genre. And so he rewrote huge swaths of the script and tried to turn it into a drama. At the same time, he left in some of the stuff that was comedy. If that weren't bad enough, once shooting started, Peckinpah was stoned out of his gourd on cocaine and quaaludes. He became impossible to deal with, even refusing to come out of his trailer to direct the final scenes on the picture. That led to the assistant directors stepping in to finish things, along with actor James Coburn, who was hanging around to earn his Directors Guild card by working uncredited on the second unit. Coburn reportedly wound up directing at least a quarter of the picture. Peckinpah wasn't the only one off on a chemically induced trip to La La Land. Co-star Ally McGraw was so blasted on cocaine and tequila, she missed the first day of shooting. So yeah, this movie is from the 70s, all right. McGraw later said that incident convinced her to give up drugs. Good for her. Anyway, speaking of the cast, besides Ally McGraw playing a photojournalist, there's star Chris Christopherson as the legendary trucker Rubber Duck, leading the convoy. You may know him from Blade, or maybe the Donnie and Marie's Star Wars episode. He was more than an actor, though. He was a country singing star. In fact, production had to halt now and then, as Christopherson had concerts to play. His band plays extras as some hippies in a microbus that joins the convoy. We also have the mighty Ernest Borgnine as a corrupt sheriff of the highway patrol, out to end the freedom of the trucking truckers. God, I miss Ernest Borgnine. Comedy, drama, you name it, he could do it all. Not gonna lie, my favorite scenes in this movie all involve Ernest Borgnine. But despite the good cast, this movie isn't the greatest. Why? Well, the original script was a comedy, and the song is a comedy. It's in the film's DNA to be a comedy. So if you went to see this thing thinking you'd see a comedy based on the song, you were going to be disappointed. If you wanted to see a serious drama based on Peckinpah's name, well, you got a partial comedy. It's an uneasy alliance at best, and I personally kept hoping for more comedy. The movie is based on the song, but at the same time, it isn't. So it was a disappointment in that sense. As a drama, it's fine, but it really needed to be a comedy. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. In fact, all through this movie, I kept having the same thought. Aren't these truckers supposed to be delivering the freight they're hauling? I mean, they have contracts and stuff, right? They got to get the goods from point A to point B by a certain date, and everything like that, right? They just form a big old convoy instead, just 'cause. So they're basically hijacking their own freight. In the end, Convoy ran over time and budget. Peckinpah's director's cut was over 3 hours long. Naturally, the studio canned him and hired someone else to edit the hell out of the movie and bring it down to about 2 hours. Peckinpah didn't like that and claimed it was an outrage and what was shown in theaters was not his movie. But in my book, a guy who spent most of his time on the movie so high on dope he didn't direct a third of it doesn't have a lot of room to squawk. Peckinpah made such an ass out of himself he couldn't get insured again and wasn't able to direct another picture for 5 years. Anyway, the movie was a success at the box office, but still lost a lot of money, so it was called a flop. But it isn't a total loss. C.W. McCall had a big hit song, so hopefully he, at least, made a lot of money out of all this. And people still love his song Convoy today. In 1977, McCall wrote a sequel to Convoy called Around the World with a Rubber Duck, in which the truckers in the song cross the ocean and travel to other countries. It's not as good as the original song, maybe, but hey, I say, ride that convoy all the way, CW. I give the movie 2 paws up. It's not all it could have been, but in spite of the mess happening behind the scenes, it's not as bad as it deserves to be. As a drama, it's okay, just don't expect a comedy. It's on VHS, Blu-ray, DVD, and Amazon Prime, so check it out if you wanna. We're gonna take this truckin' convoy. I said truckin'. Truckin' with a T for truck.